Good morning, students. Today we are going to read a very important topic, that is melting. So concentrate yourself. We are going to start. Melting is the process whereby a solid changes into a liquid. This is the definition of the melting. Heat is absorbed during melting. Melting takes place at a fixed temperature called the melting point. Melting point is the fixed temperature at a certain pressure whereby a solid changes into a liquid. A pure substance has a fixed melting point. Impurities lower the melting point of a substance. Increasing pressure lowers the melting point of a water but increases the melting point of other substances. The heating curve for changing a solid to a liquid at constant pressure is shown in the figure below. From the graph, T1 degree C is the melting point of a solid. So here is the T1. At this temperature, this solid will start converting into a liquid. Solid starts to melt at temperature T1 degree C. That is, solid starts to change into a liquid. Temperature remains constant from T1 time to T2 time as heat supplied is used to break the strong attractions between the particles in order to separate them. Here is the time T1, here is the time T2. During this time, heat supplied is used to break the strong attractions between the particles in order to separate them. Both solid and liquid exist in equilibrium during the melting process. So during this time, equilibrium process will take place. At time T2, all of the solid have changed into a liquid. So this is the time T2. After this time, fully solid will be converted into a liquid. Now we are going to read an experiment, determination of the melting point. Place a few crystals of the crushed stearic acid in the melting point tube. Use a thin piece of the fuse wire to push the crystals to the bottom. Like this. Here is a tube in which some crystals of the stearic acid will be placed, and with the help of a fusing wire, the stearic acid crystals will be pushed to the bottom. Set up the apparatus as shown in the diagram, attaching the melting point tube to the thermometer using an elastic band. Like this, this melting tube will be attached to the thermometer with the help of a band. Like this, bottom of the tube should be placed with the bottom of the thermometer. Slowly heat the water, stirring constantly, and note the temperature at which the stearic acid melts. So here is a beaker in which water is placed and apparatus is set like this. Now heat will be given slowly and water will be stirred. And note the temperature at which the stearic acid melts. When this stearic acid starting melting, We will note the temperature of the thermometer from here. Allow the water to cool and notice the temperature at which the stearic acid becomes a solid again. So, stop heating now. Allow the apparatus to cool, and when stearic acid starts solidifying, we will note the temperature from the thermometer. Repeat the experiment for accuracy, taking care to warm slowly when the temperature is close to the melting point. So this was the topic. Read it again, make your notes. Thank you so much.